Hello and welcome to This Time Africa. As you know, This Time Africa is a platform that showcases our African men, African women, our beauty, culture, education, our future leaders, politicians, and much, much more in the dish. But the question always is, what's on this time? All right, on This Time Africa today, our clock faces Cameroon, where we are talking about bringing the world together through film. Bringing the world together through film. And to have this discussion here on the show, I have with me Clara Ekeke. Is that right?
That's right.
From the House of Jelly. Welcome to the show, Clara.
Welcome. Thank you for having me, Dr. Matilda.
All right. You do look like a movie star. Are you a movie star yourself?
Well, thank you very much for the compliment. And again, thank you for having me. To answer your question, no, I am not a movie star. I'm more interested in the production, so the behind-the-scene aspect, and also bringing people together through events.
Oh, that's very good. That's very good. So how did your passion start about movies? I just told you a little bit about myself before the show. All I do is talk, okay? So whether I'm a motivational speaker, as a pastor, as whatever I speak, okay? So how did your passion start about promoting movies? Is that what you do? Can you just let us know a little bit background?
Yes, so growing up back home in Cameroon, you know, I was always interested in the arts, big reader. Music is a big part of my life, even up to today. Always interested in arts and have artsy friends. So I was part of that, but you could say officially it started a few years back. I believe it was 2016-17. A friend of mine who's a filmmaker actually asked me if I could assist him in story development, bringing a web series to life. So I jumped at the opportunity, and one thing led to another. I met another filmmaker from Cameroon, and he was showing his film here. So it was just a select group of people who got to see the film, but I thought it was quite interesting. So I asked him, would you be interested in, you know, bringing more people together to really see it? Because people are interested in seeing films like that. And he said yes. So I started with that film.
That's very good. That's very good. So that's a very good background, though. You met this guy, and you're trying to put, and people are, now you have more people that are in that group. Is that what is called the House of Jelly? How did you get that name?
Yeah, people do ask that question. So Jelly, as I spelled it, you know, because it has different spelling also. Actually, the meaning of it, it's a storyteller. So it comes from West Africa. You know, the jelly we used to go around in the village telling people the stories.
Oh, is it like the drums thing that people? Yes. So that's why it's spelled D-J-E-L-I.
Yes.
For the viewers and listeners who may not understand. Okay.
And some people spell it just J-E-L-I. Which it means the same thing. You know, so in modern times, it's kind of like being that person who shares stories. Although I personally haven't made a movie yet, but it's through movies that we tell our stories, just like, you know, Jelly's passed down stories from one generation to the next. So now we have film that we could use as a medium to showcase our culture, values, and things of that nature. And
I am definitely going to touch on that. So what is the goal for the House of Jelly? You just touched on it, but just to expand on it a little bit. Yeah,
so the goal definitely is to bring people together, because I have a Pan-African vision for House of Jelly. So people from the Black world, whether it be Africa, the Caribbean, or elsewhere, we tend to be a little isolated from one another, you know, and my lane, so to quote unquote, forgive the, you know, colloquial term, but my lane is really not politics, it's culture. So I feel like with culture, people, barriers or defenses are lowered,
broken, exactly.
You know. So it's a mean really to bring all of us together by showing films. It's education, it's about entertainment, so that we can truly understand each other as a global black people, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. And in fact, somebody, I was sharing this, that I'm going to have this interview, and somebody said, oh, wow, that's good, because movies is a very great way to create a dialogue between people.
Yes, definitely.
Because if somebody, I don't know the movie stars here, sorry, I don't watch movies all the time, but let's say, for instance, there's a movie, what was the thing that the boat that sank? What's the name of that movie again?
Which one?
One of the movies of the.
Well, or like, let's say like Black Panther.
Black Panther. Okay, I watched that one.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Okay.
See, I don't know, but so let's say Black Panther. A lot of people came together.
Yes. In
that movie theater. And I heard dialogue. I heard people just were into it. Yes. So movies do create that pathway for dialogues.
Absolutely. And it didn't matter whether you were from Brazil, the Caribbean. It was about us, about showcasing us in a positive light, because, you know,
in a positive way,
you know, so really that is the goal, because we show films that are fiction as well as non-fiction, you know. So again, it's about creating dialogue. It's again going back to the name house. You know, back home we used to have those huts.
Yes.
You know, and it's about creating community.
Yes,
so that we can sit together and really pay attention to one another and share our stories, because the tagline is, what's your story? Because we all have one.
We all have one,
know.
yes. I like that. What's your story?
What's your story, yes.
So how has it been for you just getting other African movie stars or writers? Do you do just African movie stars or writers and stuff like that? Or
so
just?
As of right now, this particular series, no, it's not just films from Africa. I have film from Jamaica, from Brazil, which actually is showing on Saturday. So again, it's that Pan-African aspect of things. You know, it's bringing people films about us, by us, for us.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's very good, though, that you're going across the board and to bring other people in.
Yes, definitely.
So tell me, why is it important to promote a movie before it is released? Why is it important? So,
two things. Some of these films have been released and some have not. It's about really, again, I can't say it enough. It's about showing us, telling our stories. I can't put enough emphasis on telling our stories, because we all know our stories have been told by others.
Yes.
But it's about taking ownership of who we are, the narrative about us, you know.
But because when you tell your story, your story is better told and heard by you, from people by you. When you tell it, it brings out all the sense of truth that is within you, and your thoughts. Because I write sometimes. I write like poems. I write plays. Maybe we'll turn them to movies one time.
Yeah.
I have them in my archives. But when a writer writes, he or she goes down into the depth of what he or she is feeling, probably at that time, her surroundings, like you say, bringing down the barriers as well, bringing down those invisible barriers.
Yes.
So I think that's so very important. Now, do you promote every film, every movie? Because certainly it's not because the movies from Africa, so therefore, what is it that catches your eyes? What is it that makes you want to participate?
To select that particular film?
Yes.
So it has been the stories. Some of the films I had seen already. There are two of them that I worked on as a translator, you know, French to English. That filmmaker that I was telling you about, who was kind enough to, you know, offer me the opportunity to showcase his film. So it's about the story. It's about where it comes from, and how people may receive it, or the themes that are touched up on the movie. Yes.
All right. So, and talking about that, do you do like brand marketing? How do you market?
So it's been quite interesting since the first time that we did an event, it was a single film. This time there are several films over the course of a few months. It's been quite interesting. So the marketing side, it's been word of mouth, going to the different festivals, because we know summertime here, it's busy.
Yeah.
So going to all the different African festivals and even non-Africans, meeting people one-on-one, the different businesses in a select place, and also social marketing.
Social marketing.
Social media.
Social media marketing. Yeah, you're right. Social media. And so social media marketing, everybody's doing social media marketing. How do you set yourself apart? How does House of Jelly set itself apart so that people really go to their shows or their premieres?
That is a very good question, and it's one that with every event, you know, you learn something. With every event, you try to, okay, what are the takeaways? Where can we tweak things? I believe that the thing that sets us apart, it's the fact that, to my knowledge, we're the only people actually showing films, Afro films, like I call them, in the area. Wow. You know, so that sets us apart. But as far as what everybody is doing, we have yet to find that one thing. But it just, we're doing the promotions like Facebook and Instagram and things like that. So yes, what sets us apart is the fact that we are the only one that I know of doing this.
All right, so what social media programs do you use for that kind of marketing? So
Facebook is one. Okay. Facebook has turned out to actually be a very good tool.
Yes.
And also Instagram. So advertising on those two platforms, and also we sell tickets on Eventbrite.
Oh, okay.
Eventbrite.com. Yeah.
Oh, that's very good.
Yes.
That's very good. So you know what? Hold your thoughts for the next question, because I want us to, in this next segment, discuss what's coming up. You said it's something coming up on Saturday, and I want the viewers and the listeners to hear this. Okay. Well, yes, we're right here in the studios of Afrique today. This is This Time Africa, and we are here with Clara Ekeke, who is from the House of Delhi, and we are discussing bringing the world together through fame. You stay right there. We'll be right back.
Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to talk about your nonprofit organization? Do you want to talk about your culture? Introducing the online web TV, Afrique Today. We are live every Sunday at 3 p.m. Our shows are 3 p.m. Sunday Guests with Elaine Pierre. 4 p.m. This Time Africa with San Natilda Banga. 5 p.m. Transformation Point with Dr. Natalie Kamsudomo. 5:30 Cyber Connect with Jean Bosco Fogham. You can watch us live at the same time on 4 platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and using the Afrique Today app. Download our app today for Android or Apple. Promote your business today. For more information, go to www.afriquetoday.com. Afrique Today, the best of digital TV.
welcome back. Bringing the world together through film with Clara Ekeke from the House of Jelly is what we're doing right here on This Time Africa. So Clara, yes, what's next for the House of Jelly? What plans do you have next?
So the immediate plan is an event that we're hosting on the 28th of September, which is Saturday.
Okay.
And it's a screening of a Brazilian film, an award-winning Brazilian film. Though it's several years old, it's still relevant in that it really talks about the legend of this. You know, in the 20s, whether it was in Brazil here, you know, the plantation, the slaves were subjected to atrocities, you know, as we know. But there was this man called Besouro, who, you know, leads a revolution against the plantation masters and liberates his people. You know, and all of this, you know, it touches upon Afro mysticism, so using the earth and our deities, because we know in Brazil it's called, you know, many parts of the world is called different things, Santeria, Candomblé, but it's essentially the Yoruba traditions of the Orishas.
The Orishas, yeah,
Orishas, yeah. It took me a while to get there.
But it's okay, I understand.
Yeah, but you know, so using those powers, kind of superpowers, to liberate his people, which I think it's a story again that we need to see. You know, us being empowered. And
do you believe in the superpower?
In the superpower, how?
Of our Africanism, our Afroism?
I do believe that, because, you know, before the colonizers came, our people believed in something. Yes. You know, so it's just a beautiful display in that particular film of what the Orishas, you know, powers are able to do in support of these slaves. So that is what we have going on, and it will be at... I
think that's interesting. Yes. Where is that going to be at?
It will be at Impact Silver Spring, so we partner with Impact Silver Spring. Oh, yeah. Located in downtown Silver Spring, and all the information is on our Facebook page.
What's your Facebook page?
So it's facebook.com/House of Jelly 1.
Okay.
Yes. On Instagram, it is Instagram. You can search for @House of Jelly. Yes. So... It's a very interesting film. I can't tell you everything.
I know. Don't spill out. Don't spill out everything.
No spoilers.
No spoilers at all. No spoilers at all. But so this is so interesting that you cut across boundaries, even up to like a Brazilian movie. How are you doing that?
Finding the film.
Or are they finding you because you know what you're doing?
Not as yet. Dr. Matilda, thank you for the vote of confidence. And we will get there, you know, definitely. But, you know, as with everything, when you start, you have to run after things, you know. Yes. So I can't even tell you, it was over 20 films, because you have to find who made the movie, whether it's through the production or it's through a distribution house. Different things that you have to find out to reach the right person who will give you the right information, so you can tell them what you want to do, and so they can give you the permission and tell you exactly what you need to do in order for you to show the film. There are several steps involved. Okay. Yes. So.
Okay. But I'm glad that this is happening on September 28th, and possibly after that several more will come. But you were talking about film distribution, so just doing my little research, I know that there's a difference between film distribution or promotion. Can you lead us into that a little bit?
So film distribution it's quite interesting, because depending on the country, you know, things are set up differently, better in some countries than others. We know in Africa, for instance, it's a challenge. Yeah. But distribution essentially is when a company will take the film. So you as a filmmaker, let's say you're the filmmaker, producer, you made the film and it's ready to go, right? Then I'll come along, I say, oh, okay, well, I really like this film. I'll help you get it in theaters. Okay. And I'll buy it from you. Then turn around and go talk to these different theaters to market it. Okay. You know, whereas promotion can be done by the distribution house, or it can be done by independent filmmakers, you know, which a lot of people are nowadays with technology. And so, yeah, that's the difference.
So if somebody should say House of Jelly, what would you say is your brand?
House of Jelly is a Pan-African cultural house.
Okay.
You know, and what we're doing, again, the vision is to bring people together.
Okay.
In order for us to have a dialogue and learn from one another and share our stories.
Yes, I think it's important that it's a Pan-African thing, because people can come and also learn from us, learn from you what's going on in our culture, and then in the same vein, we can go back and learn from what they're doing. For instance, the Brazilian, we didn't know that they have, well, I kind of know, they have some of the cultures that we share, but it's so very important. So, go ahead.
Yes, definitely, because, you know, outside of Africa, Brazil, especially in the northern part, in Bahia, the state of Bahia, it has a high concentration of blacks. I think the highest outside of Africa. Yeah. You know, and so black culture is very, very much alive there. So some continental Africans don't know that.
Yes.
So it's using film, it's a means to educate people and say, hey, we are also in Brazil, we are in Venezuela, there are Afro-Mexicans, there are Afro-Colombians, so it's like, okay, let's learn from one another, you know, and then they in turn, when they see films about Africa, they can learn about what is happening in different parts of Africa. So I think that's the beauty in it. It
is definitely a beauty. Why would you say, for me, because I sense that there is Africa is trending. You know, Africa is really trending. Like, I'm so buzzed up about that. Like, Africa. Why? What's going on? What's going on in the film industry, in politics, in economics? Why do you think Africa is buzzing, is trending right now?
May I share a personal opinion?
Sure, please.
I think Africa is the future.
Okay.
Yes, Africa will lead the 21st century in different ways. If you look at, you know, not only the immigration, right? Despite everything, the negative that we see, but we also see the contributions of African people wherever they are, whether it's in Australia, the US, Canada, wherever. So, of course, we take us with us. Yes. Wherever we go, we take us. Yes. So you can't really dissociate from your culture, you know. So in that sense, and you want to promote yourself, you want to share your story with other people. So it's a great thing that it is trending, like you said, but I'm just hopeful that it's not just going to be a trend, but a way of being, a movement that is exactly, and that will sustain itself.
It is going to sustain itself. So one more time, how do we get in touch with you for the movie on Saturday, or even in the future? Probably there's a filmmaker that is listening to you and wants to get in touch with you. Please share that information with us.
Absolutely, because in the future also we're looking at production of films. So, but that's in the works.
Okay.
So for now, the event is on the 28th of September. It will be at Impact Silver Spring. And the address is 8807 Colesville Road, and that is in Silver Spring, Maryland. So facebook.com/House of Jelly 1, and on Instagram you can search us at House of Jelly.
And your name again?
CLARA Ekeke.
CLARA Ekeke. Merci, madame. All right. Thank you very much. This is where we wrap it up, because, you know, you are the best person that can tell your story. Tell the African story and be proud. This is where we bring the curtain down. If you want to reach her, you have all the information. You know what to do. We meet on Sundays at 4 p.m. That's where you can watch the show. But otherwise, please take the time, go to africtoday.com, or watch us on Twitter, on YouTube, or on Facebook. What more? If you have your flat screen, of course, Amazon, you can have your Fire Stick and watch us there as well. It's been a nice time with you as always. I'm your host, Sia Matilda Banga, and I'll see you next time.